Hey, it's Rob, the Ignorant Entrepreneur. Now, is time off in a healthy lifestyle driving some young Americans to Europe? Some people seem to think so, believing that you are a person first and a worker second there. Yes, Kayleigh Donahue, an American, shared a TikTok documenting her transition from crying in her car to a rom-com style montage of her biking through the European countryside, sitting in front of a castle and jumping off a boat. Now, with 1 million views and some 90,000 likes, Donahue's message seems to be resonating, and in the 5 years that she's lived overseas, she has become one of those Americans more interested in the balance of life in Europe rather than the corporate grind here in America. Now, barring some incident, this is going to be something that I will be looking into as well. I may be moving over into Europe. And so I did get to visit Germany for 10 days and sort of get to meet a lot of different people and see a little bit of the lifestyle that she's talking about. One thing I can definitely speak towards is the food quality. The food quality is clearly better to me. There are things that their companies can't get away with that we allow here in corporate America. So with Donahue, while some of it can be chalked up to personal preference, there might be some merit to the belief that life in Europe makes people happier and at least healthier. I'd also notice like a lot of people walking around to get to places. So I want to say in February, and it was super cold, man. My knees were cold from walking around, and I still see a bunch of people walking around, socializing around the malls. It was a stark contrast from the US, where if it's super cold outside here, people aren't going nowhere. So I actually really appreciated that. I saw a lot of people out in nature, which you see a lot of people out in nature in some of the big cities here. Some of the cities that I went to was Frankfurt and Stuttgart, which is why I was interested to observe this trend of workers moving from North America to Europe for work. And in fact, in 2023, Forbes analysis of the top 10 cities for a work-life balance, 9 of them were in Europe. There is a sense that what is available for people in terms of the conditions in the EU is more favorable. For instance, the European Union mandates that all employees have a minimum of 4 weeks of paid vacation, with 12 paid public holidays on top of that. That is a complete contrast from Americans who took an average of 11 vacation days in 2022. Europeans are unapologetic about taking time away from work. They're gone. This is their time. Do not bother them. Governments in Europe also often support measures that encourage time away from work, such as Ireland's right to disconnect policy and a work-life balance policy introduced last week for parents and caregivers. Now, Davina Rankissim, a workplace psychologist who lives in Ireland, stated that we're seeing a shift towards assessing and managing psychological hazards in the workplace, which contribute towards workplace stress and mental health outcomes. Donahue moved to Dublin in 2018 and had 29 annual vacation days available at her job as a social worker. She used many of those days to travel to places including Spain, Portugal, and Greece. Sure, flights from country to country are cheaper in Europe, but she was also afforded her manager's encouragement to go. Now, this was a quote from her: "Work-life balance in the US is just non-existent to me after experiencing work-life balance in Europe. My work supported me in doing so. They encouraged you to take time off." Since living abroad, she's noticed how obsessed Americans seem with instant gratification. Of course, like when you want something, you just expect to get it pretty immediate. But in Europe, she commented on how people are kind of slower. They wait. They have more patience. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been The Ignorant Entrepreneur. I'm out.